All right, so I'm going to do 2,346 divided by 5. Now remember, this means how many 5s will fit into 2,346, which is going to be quite a bit, a lot. Okay, so what I would do first is I'm going to list the multiples of 5, right, up to 9. So that's why I make this chart over here. Now, with 5, that's not a very big number. In fact, it's a small number where you can just skip count by that number. Okay, so instead of doing 5 times 1 and 5 times 2 and 5 times 3, since 5 is so small, I'm just going to skip count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Okay, and now I'm going to set up the number that I'm dividing into, 2,346. All right, so the first thing, and basically what we're doing is we're going to check to see how many times 5 goes into each digit. And by doing that, at the end, we'll know how many times 5 goes into the whole number. So 5 does not go into 2 at all, right? You can't make a group of 5 if you only have 2. So that would be a 0 there. And then what you do is multiply these two numbers. 0 times 5 is 0. And then subtract to find the difference. 2 minus 0 is 2. Now this 2, whatever we have left over after we subtract is going to go up to the next place and make a new number. So we combined it with that 3, and we make 23. Now this is where you go to your chart and you see how many times 5 fits into 23. Okay, so if we're skip counting, this is skip counting once, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Get rid of that dot. Okay, so if we skip count once, we get to 5. Not really close to 23. If we skip count twice, we get to 10. Getting closer, but not that close to 23. If we skip count 3 times, we get to 15. I'm going to keep going. If we skip count 4 times, I get to 20. So I'm very close. And you'll notice if I go one more time, I actually go past that number. So 5 groups of 5 would not fit into 23. Only 4 groups of 5 fit into 23. So I put a 4 there. And remember now, we're just repeating the same pattern. I'm going to multiply those two numbers, 5 and the 4 that we just got. And you see over here, I already know 5 times 4, it's 20. That's why this chart comes in handy throughout this process, because you're going to be using a lot of these. Okay, and again, repeat the process. You subtract and bring that extra digit to the next place. Okay, again, repeating the process. Going to see how many times 5 goes into 34. Well, if I look over here, basically I'm going to look for something close to this number. Well, I know 30 is close to it, and it's below it. And I also know 35 is close to it, but it's past it. So I need to see how many times did it take to get to 30. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 fits into 34 only 6 times. And that brings us to 30. 5 times 6 is 30. I'm going to subtract to find that difference. Bring that 4 over here. And I get 46. So I go to my chart and I look for numbers that are kind of close to 46. Okay, so 35 is pretty close. You keep going. 40 is pretty close, getting closer. And 45 is really close. And I know if I went one more, I would get all the way to 50. So this is the 5 times 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 5 fits into 46 9 times. And I subtract to find the difference. Now, don't forget about this last one. The difference there is just 1. That is what becomes your remainder. So the answer here, the way that you would write it, is you're putting all these together. So 469 with a remainder of 1. Whatever's left there, there's nowhere to put it. That becomes your remainder.